Hello, this is Brent with Johnson Fabrication and Controls, going over the PLC touch controller again. Today we're going to have a little quick inside view of behind the scenes programming, some ladder logic that controls the actual controller itself. And we're also going to quickly demonstrate how to upload MP3 files and WAV files via the USB port. Real quick, let me go and show you. We have basically a main program, and we have other categorized subroutines that control the actual PLC that allow the user interface to be programmed with just push buttons. As you can see here, we have inputs, outputs, audio selection, and then a main red recording button. Real quick, we have, let me just show you real quick. A main program basically sets our on and off states and also receives analog through a 5-volt power supply internally, has some ceramic resistors, and it demonstrates the programming modes, the selected sequences like time delays, enabling audio. Pretty much all of the mode selections, it gets demonstrated through an indicator on the top of the panel here. That's the primary use for the main program and some main set functions. And then let me go and jump into the other categorized subroutines. We have an audio slave subroutine that displays our triggered audio track when a sequence is recorded, and we do want to enable that. This is for our triggered audio. It's sending RS-485 Modbus over 2 wires. Here's our main communication right here that we send. So we basically upload a value, say 1 through 4, 1 through 10. In this case, it's 1 through 4, and that value gets sent here. And then we also have our ambient audio slave. Has a very similar function, except in this case we are sending Modbus again, where we are telling it to play basically cyclically to loop when it's enabled. So, and the communication RS-45 just below this is the one that pauses and interrupts it. So for example, if we have a triggered track, this one is going to interrupt what's basically being told to loop, and then it will return to this loop when that sequence is over. We have another subroutine that clears all the values, so when we hold down record for 5 seconds, this will clear all the data that's been recorded. We have a playback post delay, which is basically what we can select to enable on input 1 and input 2. We can increment and decrement our post delay. That's what this subroutine is for. We have a playback while recording. This basically enables channels to play back previously recorded data while recording a new channel that has no data. So that's in a nice little folder. We have a payback post delay select time. This is our actual subroutine that allows us to select the amount of time that we'd like to increment and decrement. So this enables, it has a counter, basically enables, say when it has 1 count, it enables a timer that says, hey, for the amount of time it's being held on or the amount of time it's being held off, it'll increment and decrement, and then take that value, save it, and copy and paste it over into another timer. Here is our selection mode input. So we have 1 through 4. We can select to trigger different sequences or individual channels. That is our show 1 input programming. We have Y001 through Y004 output programming, and we have Y001 through Y004, our actual outputs. So there's 4 sets of these, and this is a little more in depth. Basically, it takes a set of timers and the amount of time that an input is being held down or open. It saves that amount of time and it's copied and pasted along a drum switch, and all those values are then thrown into our output subroutine for playback. So there's 4 sets of these and 4 sets of outputs. Let me give you a quick demonstration of the output page. Very similar in nature. So it's quite a bit of ladder logic to allow all the different functions to work. Real quick, let me show you how uploading MP3 files work. We have pretty easy connection. All we have to do is basically plug in our USB-A connector, and it'll pop up just like an external drive. So we don't need to basically go around, and we don't have to dig into the enclosure and pull out the SD card. Allow this to pop up for a second. And here is our And here is our two folders. Here I have audio track saved just within the actual drive itself. We have two folders. One is for playing cyclically. Here it's labeled 0001. Let's go back. And here is for a triggered audio in a folder named Mp3. And right now I currently have 4 tracks, 001, 0002, 0003, and 0004. So it's really nicely laid out for selecting. And basically you take any Mp3 or WAV file and take it and drag it in here. And this is the order that it plays in, 0001, 0002, and so forth. So that's pretty basic. And you can save thousands. I believe this will hold at least 1,000 tracks. So it's pretty extensive, and it's a nice, easy way of just not having to handle the SD card. You just plug in your USB cable and literally drag and drop your files and put them in whatever folder that you'd like. So, and you can actually stack up audio files to play and loop together, or you can have it individual. Let me go ahead and disconnect that USB cable, and I'll show you some quick demonstration programming. So real quick, I do have a speaker connected. I'm going to go ahead and enable. Let's go ahead and enable some ambient audio. Let's go ahead and access recording. Let's select an input 4. Let's save that. Let's immediately access channel recording. Let's go ahead and record on channel 2. And we'll save that. And go back to our ambient again. Let's go ahead and access recording again. I'd like to select a triggered audio track this time. Here you can hear some elevator music. Or we can go to another soundtrack. There we go, some glass and some crashing effects. Let's go ahead and save that. And let's play back our sequence on X4. And it will return to ambient audio, which we previously selected. Let me go ahead and show you some incrementing. If you'd like to increment, basically it's add a post delay. You hold down input 1, and for the selected amount of time that we hold it down, we'll add a delay at the end of the show, and we'll allow it not to be stepped on. We can increment or decrement. We can basically decrease it. Let's say I want to bring it up again. Release the button, and it'll auto save after 3 seconds. Let's say I wanted to play that back. You'll notice that the ambient will restart after the last step. There goes the ambient. But if I wanted to say, hey, I want to use the very end of our post delay that we created, if we want to enable that to trigger our ambient, we simply hold down X3 for a allotted amount of time. Actually, it's 3 seconds. Enabling flashing, that'll give a counter 1. So that'll basically enable that feature. It'll auto close out. Let's play that back. And you'll notice at the end of the post delay, which it will be a allotted amount of time, whichever you select, we'll begin playing the ambient again. There's our ambient. So that's just a real quick run through of the programming, uploading audio tracks. I did a really basic program on one channel, but you can make this really extensive, and it allows you to kind of see the individual features a little more in depth. So thank you again for joining me. Have a great day. Okay, bye.